And Ashok Khan, our deputy editor, is now joining us, who has in fact been tracking the story from on the ground in Amethi. Ashok, we understand that Priyanka Gandhi and Robert Vadra, as Nalini in fact was mentioning just a moment ago, that this is really a massive show of strength, with the opposition actually attempting to poke holes in Rahul Gandhi's sort of build up to the elections by claiming that Robert Vadra is neck deep in corruption and scandal. But Priyanka Gandhi actually coming out, making a show of support and really being defiant by reaching this bastion with Robert Vadra. What's the sense you're getting on ground currently?
Well, it's a family event for the Gandhi family. We've seen that whenever there are nominations to be filed, by and large, the whole family comes here. This time around also, the whole family is here. What is expected is that in about an hour's time or so, the entire cavalcade will come to the district collector's office here in Gauriganj in Amethi, where I'm standing. After this, Congress President Sonia Gandhi will immediately fly back to Delhi, but Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi will go to the Munshiganj guest house, where they will be meeting with the chiefs of the District Congress Committee. So clearly, as soon as the nomination is being filed, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi both taking an assessment of the situation which is prevailing on ground, after which they will also go back to Delhi. The contribution of Priyanka Gandhi in the Lok Sabha constituencies of Amethi and Raebareli cannot be ignored. When the Congress President and Vice President are busy at other things, it is Priyanka Gandhi who nurtures these constituencies. In the last assembly elections of 2012, we saw Priyanka Gandhi extensively campaign for the Congress candidates both in Raebareli and Amethi. But this time round, there is a peculiar problem which has been plaguing the candidature of Rahul Gandhi in Amethi. It is the introduction of two new candidates from Aam Aadmi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Up till now, whenever Rahul Gandhi was contesting elections, his political opponents were lightweights, and they were people who did not have strong political backing. In fact, certain parties did not even put up candidates. But this time round, Kumar Vishwas of the Aam Aadmi Party and Smriti Irani of the BJP are trying to tell the voters that your present MP will not be able to do things for you. He's inaccessible, and it would be beneficial that if you change your MP, and we will come and do a lot of good for the people of Amethi. That is something which could be a little worrying for the Congress Vice President. Perhaps this could also lead into a loss of the margin of victory for Rahul Gandhi.
May I ask a question of your
Sure.
Ashar, this is Nalini Singh. Just want to ask you, in the elections, the assembly elections of 2012, the 3 of the 5 assembly segments were lost by the Congress party. Now that is 2012, barely about 19 or 20 months ago. What would you say would be the effect of that loss, the lingering effect of that loss on on the election which Rahul Gandhi is going to fight now on the 7th of May, along with Smriti Irani, along with Kumar Vishwas?
In the previous election in 2008, when there were assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh, there was a similar result in Amethi and Raebareli. We've been posing this question to the local Congress leaders, and they every time say that the conditions and the factors in assembly are different compared to the factors in Lok Sabha elections. So that is the response which we usually get from the Congress cadres. But as we've been traveling in these parts, we were here earlier also, there is a sense of disquiet, though it is below the surface, in Amethi. That is not prevalent in Raebareli, but in Amethi, people are seeing that there is an alternative. There are two strong candidates, and especially Kumar Vishwas of the Aam Aadmi Party has been camping here for a long time. What locals say that he's visited most of the villages in the entire Lok Sabha constituency. So that is something which can be a cause of worry for the incumbent member of Parliament, Rahul Gandhi.
So, right, but before we come back to you, Ashar, these visuals that we are in fact seeing on our screens currently is of Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi. He has in fact reached Amethi, and he has been accompanied by his mother Sonia Gandhi. Rahul will be filing his nomination at 1 p.m. this afternoon. But before that, he's going to be holding a massive roadshow. Definitely the Congress's idea of a massive show of strength when a 30-kilometer roadshow. And voters, as you see on your screens, these visuals are from Sultanpuri, but voters in fact eagerly awaiting the arrival of Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi. Nalini, let me just come back to you and just let's talk about Rahul's competition here. You know, you did in fact mention that it could be watered down, but concurring to the observations that are so confidently made by the BJP, they are sure that Smriti will prove a Waterloo for Rahul in Amethi in the face of the Modi wave.
Yeah. Your correspondent on the ground is confirming that there is a sense of disquiet.
Right.
There are little bubbles everywhere in Amethi, and these were very sharp about a month and a half ago. If there's something been done by the Congress party to neutralize it, it would be something else. But I would say that Smriti Irani is a war horse. If there's anyone, it's Smriti Irani. And Kumar Vishwas is in a way a formidable opponent because he's been there a long time, and he has said some things that have not been said before, challenging the prince, etc. Now, in view of this, I think that and if any of them, for instance the BJP cadres, who may not have been very active in Amethi earlier, but if they've imported people, and if they're able to mobilize this sense of disquiet and this sense of disaffection with Rahul Gandhi, and the fact that really large parts of Amethi are not showing the development that is being claimed, then I think if they can harness this, then it would be a fight. I will not say it would be a keen fight, but it would be a fight. And you are absolutely right that for the first time ever, since this is Rahul Gandhi's third election, for the first time in these 3 elections, he would have an actual fight.
Right, and the people would be given perhaps an actual choice. Fair to say that, because they are presenting a fairly tough competition.
Yeah, I would say technically yes. They are being given an actual choice. But I think that the one which would have, if they had not neutralized others who were rebelling against them within the party, then I think that was a real choice. And
let me go back to Ashar. Ashar, these visuals in fact are coming in as we'll definitely get you more ground coverage as Rahul Gandhi. In fact, he has reached Amethi. Currently, he is accompanied with his mother, by his mother. Ashar, Smriti Irani came into the fray for Amethi much later with the BJP. Remember, we saw these massive announcements being made about how they were going to present their firebrand women leaders against, pitted against Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. But Smriti Irani has come, albeit late, definitely a firebrand. But is that going to fall against her, considering that the campaigning started late and Rahul Gandhi, we must not forget, this is his stronghold?
Well, there are 2 things which need to be considered carefully. First of all, this is a Congress bastion, and that cannot be taken away. Secondly, we cannot remember, nobody can remember easily the last time a BJP candidate, prominent BJP candidate who contested from Amethi. So this time round, there is a prominent candidate, there is somebody who's known to everybody, there is somebody who by virtue of her being in TV serials is known to everybody, is not an unknown figure, and as people say that she's a hard-working politician. How much of an impact she's going to make will be seen after the elections only. But yes, there is somebody with which people identify. The new BJP candidate does not have to go and announce that he or she is a BJP candidate. She's a known figure, so that is the advantage she has. While on the other hand, there is a major first mover advantage for Rahul Gandhi because of the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty which has been prevailing in these parts for the last so many years. And the other part which people are constantly saying, they're saying that it is not that Rahul Gandhi will lose, but yes, there would be a major dent in the winning margin as of now. Now the elections are still some time away. There are about 2 to 3 weeks left for final polling to take place in Amethi. Till then, let's see how things develop. But yes, there are certain pockets of disquiet. Like for instance, if you see from Amethi till Raebareli, there's a 50 to 60 kilometer road stretch which goes through Fursadganj airstrip. Now that road is in such a bad condition, in such prime constituencies. So people are now starting to question all that, which is becoming a little difficult for the Congress to answer.
Right, absolutely, Ashar. Definitely a pertinent question, in fact, being raised there. But these are the visuals coming in right now on headlines today. Exclusive visuals of Rahul Gandhi. Remember, he's going to be starting his 30-kilometer roadshow. This is as he's going to be filing his nomination at about 1 p.m. this afternoon. We understand that he is being accompanied by his mother Sonia Gandhi. We know that Priyanka Gandhi and Robert Vadra, remember, just landed in Fursatganj a short while ago. Rahul going to be showing this this massive show of strength as he will be filing his nomination at 1 p.m. But I mean, in Raebareli, the humiliation was perceptible definitely in the assembly elections where the Congress lost all 5 of the segments, but the damage was considerably less in Amethi.
Well, you know, losing 3 out of 5 assembly segments in the Nehru Gandhi bastion is humiliation, and I think we should regard it as such. That in fact, despite all their efforts, and they were making huge efforts in the assembly elections to Uttar Pradesh in 2012, and I think, and Priyanka Gandhi was there, and she had camped there for a long time, and she had promised her mother, pinching her cheek at a rally, and she had said, "I'll get you 5 out of 5." So it was 2 out of 5. So there was humiliation. Now, whether they have learned from that and they have recovered is something that we have to, you know, which we'll tell. But I also must say that Rahul Gandhi's 30-kilometer roadshow is going to be the greatest mobilization by the Congress party, because politicians, especially leading politicians, set a very high store by the nomination, the day of the nomination, and what is the turnout then, and what is the you know, what is the applause that they get? Because and I mentioned this earlier on your channel, that whatever you may say, you are looking at every party is looking at crossing the Congress party is also hoping that they'll get 272 plus on their own. But actually what happens is, finally this particular seat will come to Rahul Gandhi if the locals vote. So if you've got a huge, massive roadshow with thousands or lakhs of people who are gathering around this person who's asking for their vote, it makes a lot of difference. It, you know, the people themselves say, "Oh, here is somebody who actually has the support of a lot of people, the majority of us over here." So it makes a difference to the poll on the day for the leader, and Narendra Modi did this in Vadodara, Sonia Gandhi did this in Raebareli. So I am very surprised if a nomination is not a huge tamasha and a grand affair. I get very surprised. In fact, I sort of saying, is the candidate getting it or not?
Absolutely, and the Congress perhaps need to do that, because while the BJP has been going all guns blazing in terms of their campaigning and at a national level, going really all out, you know, very big, be it Modi's Chaiwala or his fiery rallies, the Congress hasn't been quite able to keep up with that. So what they do locally is going to make a difference. Yeah,
you know, before we get into this and then it'll be over to Rahul Gandhi, let me just say they seem to have landed in Sultanpur from the shots that I see. And Sultanpur is the constituency from which Varun Gandhi is fighting.
Right.
So these are adjacent constituencies. There has been some ambiguity on the comment made by Varun Gandhi in so-called praise of the so-called self-help groups of women. And also that there's been, you know, there's a little bit of a comment that Varun Gandhi is seeking votes for himself and in the name of Sanjay Gandhi, rather than as a hardcore BJP candidate. Smriti Irani, in fact, is doing that exactly. She's a hardcore BJP candidate. So there is a little bit of, one should remember that actually Varun Gandhi is right next door. According to my information, that the Congress is going to go all out to defeat Varun Gandhi without the Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, that kind of the family stepping into Sultanpur to canvass against him. They're doing it via the back door, which is there's no dearth of finances, of manpower, of woman power, of vehicles, of material, you know, material support to their candidate, Congress candidate in Sultanpur, because a defeat of Varun Gandhi has long-term implications for Varun, for BJP, etc. So, according to the information I have, the Gandhi family,
not so much within, but more from the outer quarters.
No, I mean the Gandhi family is actually engineering a lot of support for their candidate, who happens to be Amita Singh, and I was talking about neutralizing. So Sanjay Singh got a Rajya Sabha seat, Amita Singh got a Lok Sabha seat. This was if I may say, the deal, the political deal. So they will go all out to support Amita Singh, whatever the relationship, that doesn't matter. Just now the symbolism of being able to pull the rug from under Varun Gandhi's feet.
Absolutely,
is very important.
What Ashar Khan has in fact been pointing out, the sheer symbolism, remember, even of the voters and the locals of Amethi on ground, mentioning that there is a fair amount of disquiet. We'll be tracking the story, but these exclusive visuals that you see on your screens as Rahul Gandhi makes his entry into Amethi. Remember, he is expected to file his nomination at 1 p.m. this afternoon, but before that, a massive roadshow. These visuals that you see on your screen, a massive roadshow that will in fact begin. Rahul Gandhi's show of strength. This is the Congress's make or break. In fact, Rahul Gandhi, accompanied by his mother Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi and Robert already